What is going on? What's happening, everyone? Man, first, I just want to apologize. I haven't put out a video in forever, but my 2019 has been off to the races, and I've just had a lot going on. My business has absolutely blown up, and yeah, man, it's been great. I bought a new car. I was playing around with that for a little while. I went on vacation, and other than that, I've been building websites and doing SEO work for my clients, and I'm just absolutely freaking loving it. So it'd just be like, it would not be like conducive to, anything that I'm trying to accomplish right now to keep pumping out Lawn Crack videos. Although I do want to get back to pumping out Lawn Crack videos as soon as I can. With that said, I've been out of the lawn care industry for almost 1 year now. Still don't regret being in it for as long as I was and starting how I did with the push mower and working my way up, selling the business, everything like that. Like, it was such a learning experience. I cannot describe how, much I grew running my business. So I hope I can still push off some of these ideas I've accumulated over the years and my thought processes and different kinds of stuff like this that's kind of got me in the unique position that I find myself in these days, where I don't have much responsibility with my time. I don't worry about money. I'd love to help other people get to a position like this. I don't think many people get here. So I was talking to Sam with Sam's Personal Landscaping. He's one of our clients, and he's very interested in the percentage pay. I do have several videos on percentage pay. There's also a really big blog write-up on Lawn Crack's website about it. But I understand it's kind of a very hard concept to wrap your head around. And before I implemented this in my business, my dad had been telling me I needed to do this for years and years and years, and I kept on telling him it wouldn't work, blah, 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 this and that. And then I did it, and my employees loved it. I loved it because the company, the profitability was just stabilized instantly. As long as we did the work, I knew what we were gonna make. I knew what my guys were gonna make. Didn't care how long they were gonna take to do it, or how many times they stopped at the gas station, or anything like that. As long as they got the work done on schedule, I was cool, everything's cool. So the whole thing here is, if you do implement a percentage pay system, you're gonna watch productivity go through the roof, and as long as the numbers work out, it's just gonna be better all around for your whole entire company. And this really goes, I'd say any kind of service-based industry with this pay model would work very well. It just seems like a lot of people are stuck on the old way to do stuff. How many wheeled Velkies do you still see rolling around? It's just ridiculous. The Pro Slide is far superior to any wheeled Velkie. I don't care. And you still have so many guys blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're obviously hard-headed and have no clue what you're talking about, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat is fine with me. But we're going to dive into the computer, and we're going to look at percentage pay. And I just wanted to say a couple things here. There's, this percentage pay is going to work out for employees that are actually good for your company. If you have some bum employees, they're going to hate this, and they're going to make sure they lower their productivity and all this kind of stuff to make you think that it doesn't work. You need to get rid of those employees. Getting the right people on the bus is number one priority to grow your freaking lawn care business. And then number two is get your website right. No, I'm just kidding. We're here if you need us, whatever. But let's dive in and take a look at this real quick. You see, I got the dreadlocks in. Look, this one's already coming out, or dreadlocks and cornrows. This one's already freaking coming out. I need to go back to Jamaica and tell her, hey man, you did a janky job. It's terrible. I gotta rip this stuff out already. I'm gonna go somebody downtown Cincinnati right over here that knows what they're doing. I'm gonna get some real cornrows for one time and see if I actually like it or not. But one thing that does not matter is what you look like. Don't let thinking what you look like matters at all as far as making money or anything like this. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into the computer screen where I started an Excel sheet, ended up doing all of it in the text box, so it doesn't even make any sense. But I wasn't trying to spend a whole lot of time on this, and I just kind of want to get your gears spinning again. Go check out all the other content I have on this if this is interesting to you and stuff like that. If you have specific questions, that would help me make a video that answers your questions. So just please leave them in the comments, and then I'll answer the questions as soon as I can. These screen record videos are actually very easy for me to do because I'm a computer guy. And this is just on my phone with a little tripod thing. So like little videos like this, I really want to get out. I've been doing a lot of drone shooting off one of the downtown buildings downtown. Like somehow I got referred, and it's not what we really do, but I'm just good at the internet, and video and images is a big part of everything online these days. So I got a really nice drone. I'd be happy to fly it off that building for you and capture you. They're putting up big lighted signs on the top of the building or whatever. So really freaking cool. For some reason it's on pause, so I gotta wait like a month to go back and finish it. They're not doing anything right now, so I have no idea what happened. I really don't care, but I'm really looking forward to getting back up there. But my point of that is I got really good with the drone, and now I'm really looking forward to getting a lot of cool footage of mowing and stuff like that. And I think maybe if I capture some like entire mow jobs from aerial view, I can kind of point out like why my company actually made a whole lot of money mowing grass, because we did it very, very efficiently. I figured out how to mow the lawn as fast as it can possibly be freaking mowed professionally, and then I taught my employees how to do it, and they're like, yeah, that's freaking the best. That is the best way to do it. And every now and then I get one that's like, hey man, can we do like this, like this? I'm like, that's actually a better idea. Yes, start doing it like that. That's the whole thing. Like, I don't think what I do and know is the hands down way to do it or anything like that. There's always room for improvement. You need to freaking innovate. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but you always need to it's driving me crazy. You always need to like improve and get better over time and stuff like that. So what works today might not work tomorrow, right? So always be open to new ideas, and just because you're the boss, don't think that the employees don't know anything. Every now and then they're going to come up with a good idea that you should probably implement throughout your company and stuff like that. Okay, now we're actually in the computer. We're in the computer now. So we have two guys in the truck, right? I personally believe one guy in the truck is the most profitable way to run a mowing crew, but then I also understand the dangers of putting one person in a truck. Mower could flip, etc., etc., etc. I'd much rather just have two guys out and be a little less profitable. But I did send guys out that knew what they were doing in a truck solo fairly often because I was in the business of making money when I was cutting grass, like any business should be in the business of making money. Okay, so let's say you're paying your crew leader in a reasonable $15 an hour. You're paying the crew member $12 an hour, okay? So I'll move this over here, then maybe I'll put my face over here. I don't know if y'all want to see my face or not, but okay. So average day equals 15 lawns cut. So they're going out in the morning, they're coming back at the end of the day, they cut 15 lawns, average day. Say the average price is $50 per lawn that they cut, and they're out for 10 hours, so they left the shop or whatever at 6 or 8, or maybe they got in at 8 and they clocked out at 6. So however you want to look at that, like they were on the clock for 10 hours. So since there's two of them, to get your man hours, you take the 10 times the 2. So 10 hours times 2 guys. So now we're at 20 man hours. So that is like the core basis of understanding everything in the business, like man hours. So that's how you get the man hours. You take how many hours were worked times how many people were on that job. So that's your man hours right there, right? So since they cut the 15 lawns at the $50, I have it right here even, 15 lawns at $50, they brought in $750 in revenue for this company, right? So their realized hourly rate, what actually happened in reality this day, in reality, this is a mock-up demo, but what happened is the company achieved a $37.50. That's what they brought in every hour, $37.50. per man per hour. So that's a little bit on the low side to me. Like, so these lawns are probably underpriced. They didn't cut enough, took too long, whatever happened. But I really think you need to get above 40 and try to get to 50. And if you're doing like $50 per man per hour, and this is on like mowing and spraying, if you get into hardscapes and landscapes, even just, you know, real labor intensive, more skilled stuff, the hourly rate should go up to account for that. So you guys that think like mowing grass, you know, it's mowing grass. I mow grass forever. I put so many hours on a freaking mower. It's not funny. I really enjoyed it. I get it. But there's no thought that goes into it, right? At the end of it, I was, you know, putting in my audiobook and I was not thinking about what I was doing. I was concentrating on what they were teaching me in the book I was reading as I was cutting the grass. And that's what kept me cutting grass the last couple of years. I was so over it. But I was like, how else am I just going to get, you know, 8 or 10 hours of interrupted time in a day to consume all this knowledge in these books? So that kept me going, and I was, you know, that worked out great. So if we look over here, what did the crew leader earn on his hourly rate? So, you know, he's making $15 an hour, and he worked 10 hours, so that's easy. He made $150, right? Well, another way to look at that is he made 20% of the revenue generated by that crew. So even if you're paying them on an hourly rate, you can figure out what that percentage would be. And this is really the key to coming up with a percentage to pay your guys. So then you can present to them like, look, you're already currently making X percent whatever, right? Based off of what the real actual numbers are for them and your company and all that kind of stuff. So he's making 20%. The crew member is making 16%, and that makes sense. Like if you're driving the truck and driving the mower, you're doing the more important stuff. Like, and to me, there's no more important stuff when it comes to the actual lawn mowing itself. Like if it wasn't mowed, edged, trimmed, and blown off properly, the job was junk. You shouldn't have done it. Find something else to do, right? Like, so that's all I'm saying there. They're doing the more skilled stuff, whatever. You need more experience. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? So they should be making a little bit more money. Maybe the guy in the passenger seat doesn't even have a driver's license. Something like that. You know, that's often a scenario you'll run into in the lawn care industry, right? So the crew member, he made $120 while he's out for those 10 hours. That turns out to be 16% of the revenue generated. So that's, you know, to get that, it took the money he made on his hourly rate, which is 120, divided by the revenue generated by the crew, which was 750. So together here, 20 times 16 is 36%, right? So under this scenario, the owner of this company would be paying the two guys in this truck 36% of revenue that came in. So when I implemented this, my numbers were actually a little bit higher than this because I had my overhead so far down, right? I had every truck I wrote a check and I bought it. There's no truck payment. The only debt that I had in my business when I sold it was like 20 grand left on a mower loan that had 6 mowers and a bunch of trimmers and blowers bundled into one loan. So my overhead was down. I ran out of my house. We had the U-Haul trucks. The guys took them back to their house, stuff like this. So, think about this. The less money you spend out in your business, the more money you keep. You don't have to make as much. That's the number one thing I love about the internet. Like, I don't have any overhead. My overhead is literally everything I would have anyways, because I like computers and drones and cameras and stuff like this. I already have it. There's minimal cost in what I do. But that's what I'm saying. If you're one of these guys that's like, oh, I got the nicest, we just built a pole barn and all this, if you can swing it and you actually need it and stuff like this, that's great. I'm not saying anything like knock yourself out, but it just seems like guys are, driving around in the King Ranch model, or I don't even know what they are anymore. Harley Davidson edition freaking F350 or something. Like, you're a freaking idiot. What are you doing? Get the cheapest, reliable, good-looking truck and go make money with it. Stop sending all the freaking money you're making to the freaking auto loan payment. It's nuts. So, you know, there for a while, I had a little crappy shop down the street from my house because the city kicked me out of my house. But, you know, I worked around everything and ended up with these U-Haul trucks. We fold the gates up, lock it, back it up to a wall, whatever. Nobody can get our stuff out. It just absolutely worked out great. My employees didn't have drive time, all this stuff. Okay, so let's get back to the percentage pay real quick. Something you're gonna need to think about is, and another reason why I paid higher than this 20 and 16%. So you see the 20 and 16% on the screen, that's not the percentage that you should probably use. Maybe it happens to be, they're like reasonable numbers right here, right? But I did this, right? So you're gonna run into things like, well, what about maintenance time? What if, you know, a belt snaps out on the job? We don't have a belt in the truck. Like, how is this time accounted for, right? How do you compensate your guys? Well, I had a discussion with them, and I said, we can do this one of two ways. I'm gonna pay you either this percent or this percent, and on the higher percentage, you're gonna do all this stuff. You're gonna do the blade sharpening, you're gonna scrape the deck, you're gonna put the oil in the mowers, you're gonna do all that common stuff that needs to be done so you can do your job and go out there and make money for the company and turn make money for yourself. So if you don't want to do it that way, and you're like, well, I want to be compensated when I'm actually sharpening the blades and all this stuff, you know, it's 6 this way, a half a dozen this other way, I don't freaking care. So I was like, okay, well, if you don't want to do it this way, then I will give you an hourly rate, right? I don't know how else to do it, an hourly rate when you do these tasks, or you could just say every time you sharpen the blades on a 0 turn, it's 15 bucks. I don't know. But what I did, I gave them the option, take this higher percentage and you know all this stuff that's involved in your job so you can actually do your job, or I'll pay you this, you know, maybe as a percent, 2%, 3% lower for the revenue that your crew generates. But when you are doing the maintenance stuff or a belt snaps and you have to run to the thing and, you know, get it and have them put it on or put it on yourself if you can, whatever, I'll pay you 12 or 15 or whatever your old hourly rate was during those times. So all my guys unanimously went for the higher percentage rate. I think it was the right thing to do. Just kind of had to, you know, stay in touch with them, double check, you know, don't just take the word that they are sharpening the blades, they are changing the oil, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it, you know, it has its nuances and stuff like this or whatever. But at the end of the day, it is one of the reasons that my business became just super duper profitable for me as the owner of the business at the end. And, you know, if you've listened to like the podcast back in the day or me talking on the other videos, like it took me, I think, 6 years to break through $10 an hour. Me as the owner of my company making more than $10 an hour. It took me 6 years. I mean, the first couple years were part-time. I was still working for the company that taught me. My third year was solo, right? I went out solo, and then, you know, 4th year I had me and my buddy and my brother, and the 5th year I finally got the second truck, and then things really started escalating really fast. That's around the time when I took over my website and started getting all these website leads and all this stuff. So yeah, really. So if you're one of the guys that I just need more leads, I just need more work, you should just call us. Like, I can't freaking, you know, it's just freaking nuts. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't have enough work. There's people on the internet searching for you and they can't find you because your website sucks, you have no internet presence, all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, so that's it. I'm not gonna go on a big rant like that, but it just really frustrates me when I see the guys that can't get work, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, just save it, man. Just quit. Like, God, it's annoying. Okay, so that's it. I hope you liked the video I finally put out. Just as always, I don't want anybody taking like what I'm saying the wrong way. I don't think I'm better than anybody or anything like this. Like, I'm just trying to help. This is just the way that I talk. It's just who I am, and it's just the way it is. So, that's it. I'm ending the video. You know, watch out. I'm going to be making some more random videos every now and then, and hopefully I'll get back on a regular schedule soon. And you already know, until the next video, keep making money.